Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely stream deck. For more information about the stream deck, the link is in the description below.
Greetings! Hello everyone and welcome to Apex Online Racing, where tonight we are back for F1 2020, and although it still says season 19 on the graphic because I'm reusing some of the last season stuff, tonight we are in Interlagos, Brazil for the one of tonight's evaluation races here on the PlayStation 4. My name is Andy Campbell, taking you through the action here this evening. A little bit of a tune-up for myself as well, but what a fantastic track we have here tonight. The Interlagos, the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pachi in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Famous for obviously Ayrton Senna famously winning his home race in 1991 when he was an unbelievable pain at the end, having been stuck in 6th gear. Just 2.6 miles round, very fast circuit, 2 DRS zones including that run all the way from the bottom of turn 13 up the hill towards the Senna S and then out of the Curva do Sol down towards turn number 4 at the Descido del Lago. So we're going to keep the drivers very interested on track indeed here tonight. Tyre choice obviously as usual will be your soft, medium and hard compounded tyres, and we will be doing the usual race distance process. It'll be an 18-minute qualifying session and a 50% 36 lap race. Just shy of 1400 metres is the longest run from the bottom of the hill all the way up towards turn number 1, and as mentioned, soft, medium and hard, not too much between them in terms of pace advantage. Do expect to see a lot of soft and medium run-ins. We'll go through the tyre strategy a wee bit later on into tonight's proceedings, but welcome along to the first of the races that you're going to see here. We can ignore the championship standings. As I say, I am reusing some of the old stuff, so there we go, we'll get rid of the intro now. And as I say, if you do notice anything being a bit too loud or a bit too quiet, please do let me know as well. This is a little bit of an evaluation race for me as well. I'm just trying to get myself back into the swing of things. I've not commentated, to be honest with you guys, since pretty much the end of season 19, I'm not going to lie. So do keep me updated in the chat with anything. This is my first commentary since the last game, first commentary on the new game, so I am learning the buttons as well. That's why I need to do this. Well, hope you'll enjoy the racing here tonight. We've got a 19 car grid out there, a lot of drivers that I do not know either, so it's going to make things very interesting indeed. And we're going to ride on board here with the Red Bull of Felipe Santos on the first flying lap of the season, down in towards turn number 1, the Senna S, down to 2nd gear quickly, then quickly up to 3rd for the second part, just to eliminate the wheel spin through the Curva do Sol, down the back straight with the DRS wide open now, down the opposite straight, down towards the Descido del Lago, the lake descent, turn number 4, around about 105 miles an hour on the way in on the apex, and then easily turning through turn number 5 up the hill towards Ferradura, doing about 6th gear here, 140, 150 miles an hour through this double right and into the slowest corner on the track, turn number 8, down quickly to 1st gear. There goes Santos before he comes into the next corner, the left-hander there, and then up towards the Bico de Pato, the duckbill corner, very tricky cambered corner, dips in and then back out, down through Megulo, the dive, got a car up ahead staying well out the way, and into Juncao, turn number 12, and now it's the long run, that just shy of 1400 metre run up towards turn number 1 and up towards the start and finish line. And we'll go through the rules and everything in a wee second, changes that you all know about to the game, but Santos across the line and he sets a 1 minute 8.791. Your pole position man at the moment provisionally is the Williams driver of Andreas Dico. I'm just probably going to call him Andreas during tonight, and there's going to be a lot of names I get wrong here tonight because there's a lot of drivers here who I don't actually know, so apologies to anyone whose name I completely make a butchers of. As you can see at the moment is Andreas is in pole position. Oscar Marino, there we go, Oscar, there we go, he's in second. Susco in third in the tracing point. Fourth position for ADEP, ASK, probably the easiest way. Lattice in fifth position in one of the re-liveried Hassies, no more black and gold for the American team. Fabi in sixth position in the other racing point. Kelvin for the Alpha Tauri, he's in seventh. Varichello in the other Haas is in eighth. Tubby Ninja has just gone up into ninth there in the McLaren with JG IPT. Probably, I'm just going to trip over that all night if I try. He's in 10th. Ferrari, a Black Phoenix in 11th. Santos, who we were on board with, down to 12th. His teammate Luiso in 13th. Marek in 14th. The other drivers still to settle that. We've got, well, Jor, he's just gone 15th in the other McLaren, 38 seconds down, so that was an outlap. We've got Drez Joker in that lovely black liveried Mercedes, just coming towards the line to complete his lap, putting himself up into P8 at the moment. And then we've got Lacobata and Sean in the other Ferrari. So those are your 19 drivers here tonight. Now, because this is an evaluation race, there's a few little differences in regards to what you would normally see within the normal league races. Any assists are allowed because this is a mixture of drivers, so you may have some drivers who are expecting to be in maybe one of the top 3 or 4 tiers will be running no assists. You may have some assist drivers in here as well. So there's a whole different scale of talent, of skill levels, of speed and pace. So it's going to be a little bit jumbled up here tonight, but the main point of these races is to give the coordinators of the league the ability to see each driver's pace, to see what their race pace is like, what their quali pace is like as well, due to that annoying time trial glitch that's been going about. And that will then help them to be able to put people into the correct tiers and decide who is in which tier for Season 20, which hasn't got far to go until we get going with Season 20. We're only a few weeks out. I will get the calendar up later on into the session as Joker heads back there. Let's just see if we can find someone on a lap. We'll follow Lacobata, who's just gone up into P7. If I keep on one car at the moment, it's because I'm busy messing about with stuff. So don't worry about me. But yeah, really looking forward to this upcoming season. Obviously, not got all the graphics at the moment. I have been working on a few myself for the upcoming season. Got a few wee bits up my sleeve, shall we say, for what I want to be doing moving forward. That's for absolute positive indeed. I'm just going to get you the calendar because I keep forgetting myself. I think it got moved. We were meant to be starting next week, 23rd of August, but due to the time trial glitch causing issues, we have actually now moved to Sunday the 6th of September. So a little bit of a later start now coming up. I will get that on the screen for you later on between qualifying and the race session itself. As the Renault comes back into pit lane, let's go on board with the racing point of Suso. Oh, my pronunciation is going to do me no good here tonight, that's for absolute positive. See what he can do on his latest lap. Coming up through Juncao, he's just gone purple in Sector 2. A little bit squirrely on the exit there, I need to be careful of that one. I don't want to be doing that too much during the race, and it looks like he's not coming back into pit lane there. He had me a little bit concerned. He has gone slightly faster, but stays in P3. Gained about a tenth there, 1/10 down, just over a tenth down from your pole sitter, which is Oscar Marino, 1 minute 6.4 at the top of the standings just now. Just give me 2 seconds here, just adjust something here within OBS. So I can put the calendar up later on. Won't be a second, guys and gals. It was a bit of a late decision for myself to commentate. As you obviously know yourselves, there's not been any F1 commentaries on the AOR channel since the end of season 19. So this is the first one, I do believe, for the new game. So that's quite interesting indeed as well, for sure. But we are where we are, and that's what we want to see. So we want to see things moving forward. And it's interesting for me as well. I've not, as I say, I've not done a commentary since the end of season 19, basically. So it's new, it's different for me. I'm learning as we go along. As Suso comes back at the pit lane, let's jump on board with Drez in that lovely black liveried Mercedes. And you can see this is one thing I do like for a commentator's point of view. I now have control of the cameras, where I can watch and see as the cars go by. I just need to get the right angle. But that's really, really useful, so I'm very chuffed at that indeed for the new season. See the Williams of Andreas Dioco coming back into pit lane. Joker out there in the other Mercedes, the 22, he's on his in lap or on an out lap possibly at the moment, is Valacero, I'll probably get that wrong 20 million times as well. He just goes up to P9 in the Haas. Yeah, it's nice to see the Haas back in its traditional white, grey, black and red after the horrendous time they had with the Rich Energy Company last season, although I did like the black and gold, I cannot lie. His teammate JR Lattis is up in 6th position at the moment, so both of them going well inside the top 10. I think the only other team that I've got both drivers in the top 10 at the moment. We've got Renault up there, and we've also got, I believe, the Racing Points up there as well. So 6 cars from 3 different teams, and then everyone else just kind of spaced out. 2 Ferraris in pit lane at the moment. They are down the order, a bit similar to real life. We've got McLaren there. Red Bull of Felipe Santos were on board way earlier. His teammate Luiso coming towards the end of his outlap. AlphaTauri and Marek coming back into pit lane. You can see some of the difference as well. We've got nearly 3 seconds between the field, but look at the gap at the top. 1,000th of a second. So Andreas Dioco getting within 1,000th of a second on Oscar Merino. That could be very interesting once we get into the race. Top 7 covered by less than a second, and the top 10 covered by just over 1.1 seconds as well. So good wee mix out there also. Let's go through each of the cars out on track. So it's the first chance to see each of them in the game, possibly for some people. Maybe some of you have not seen all the cars except for when you're passing them during My Team or Career Mode. So there's the Renault there in Merino as he comes towards the start of his latest flying lap. That traditional black and yellow Renault livery. And we've got the Williams, which Cody's would have loved the fact they had to change that so late in the day. Nice clean white and blue for them there. The Racing Point looking very similar to last season, and the Pink Panther carries on as Cisco comes up the hill and through the rise past the boxes on his outlap with the soft compound tyres. Nobody going for the Beatrams at the moment, as you can see. The black liveried Mercedes. Fight against racism, end racism, absolutely something I can 100% get behind. And it does look nice as well, which is also lovely. We get to see the McLaren there as well, with the traditional papaya and blue. There's the Alfa Romeo, one of 2 Alfa cars in the grid now, in the red and white, traditional red and white for them. As we scroll down to find the rest, there's the AlphaTauri. I do like that dark navy blue and white, I must say, very nice colours indeed. And we're not going to get to see all of them as the Red Bull of Luiso stays well out of the way coming up towards Ferragura, trying to make sure he doesn't get in anybody's way on a fast lap. And obviously Ferrari, well, it's a Ferrari, what do you expect? Oscar Merino goes 9 1,000ths quicker, 1 minute 6.484. He's now 11 thousandths clear, or 1/100th clear of this man, Andreas Dioco, as he comes towards the line in the Williams, hugging the pit wall for all he's worth. And look at that, he goes 800ths clear. The top there, 1 minute 6.404. So these two look like they're going to be battling it out through most of this evening's qualifying session so far. They're the only guys getting into the 1 minute 6.4s here at the moment. 5 minutes 18 to go in this qualifying session ahead of tonight's evaluation race. You are watching Apex Online Racing's YouTube channel. It's the Hype Energy F1 Leagues, it's the PS4, and it's an evaluation race ahead of Season 20, which starts on September the 6th. A full 22 race calendar. No shortened calendars like real life. This hasn't thankfully been affected by the, I'm not going to say the word pandemic is about as far as I'm going to go. But we have the full 22 tracks ahead of us, including the new Vietnam track in Hanoi, the return to Zandvoort for the Dutch Grand Prix as well, so plenty to look forward to during the upcoming season. Take us all the way through to around about mid to end February into the new year of 2021, so lots of racing action coming your way on AOR. Obviously still got the other stuff going on as well, so got the ever growing in popularity Assetto Corsa Competizione leagues as well, usually running around about Tuesday nights if I remember correctly. We've got the Project Cars 2 GT3 League now into its 16th season, I do believe, as well, or 15th season at least. It's possibly, I've heard, going to be the last GT3 season as well, so that would be a bit of a sad one if that is the case, but we'll wait to see. That is obviously going on as well. Still got the Dirt Rally 2.0 Rallycross and everything like that as well. Plenty here on Apex Online Racing. If you haven't done so already, do hit the subscribe button as we come fast approaching towards another landmark of subscribers. We're currently sitting, I think it's just shy of 12 or 13,000. I can't quite remember myself off the top of my head, and I'm not on the correct page. We are 13 shy of 13,000. So if you're watching and you haven't subscribed already, number one, why? And number two, do it. I would love to hit 13,000 on this first night on F1 2020. That's my challenge to you out there, viewers. You're watching along, you haven't hit that subscription button, hit that button, ring that bell icon so you don't miss out when the new season starts. And you can see there the Renault decided to do a bit of practice start. I hope that's what it was and it wasn't a glitch, but yeah, we've heard a few of them anyway. But that's the goal tonight. You haven't subscribed, hit that button, ring that bell, get us to 13,000 before the end of tonight's proceedings. 2 minutes 50 to go for this qualifying session, and it's the Williams on top of Andreas Diocco. 1 minute 6.404 from Oscar Marino in second in the Renault, and Cisco in third for Racing Point. Fourth place for Dresden, the Mercedes. Fifth for ASK in the Alpha. Then we've got Lattis in sixth in the Haas. Fabi in seventh in the other Racing Point. There's the two McLarens doing a bit of formation flying on a fast lap and out of pit lane. They are unfortunately down the order at the moment in 12th for Tubby Ninja, who we're watching at the moment, and his teammate W. Joar down in 16th position. Rounding out the top 10, we've got Lacobata. He's in 8th in the Renault. Vallicello. I just want to say Barrichello every time with that, so I do. He's in 9th in the other Haas, and Kelvin in the Alpha Tauri coming out of pit lane just now. He is in 10th position. Let's just jump on board with the Alpha Tauri, because as you can see, you can look behind and look at the Racing Point, which will be of Cisco, I do believe, because he's on his outlap just at the moment. It's great to have this control of the cameras, I must say, so I'm really enjoying that. You see the Renault just flying by us there as we go in towards turn number 8. Through turn 9, a Pinarino, the little pine tree corner, so it used to be a pine tree on the inside there, and then the Bico de Pato, the duckbill corner. This is about as far as my Portuguese goes, by the way, I must be perfectly honest with you. 1 minute 22 to go, and we've got pretty much everybody bar 3 cars out on track at the moment. Let's pick someone up who's coming towards the end of a lap. Looks like Fabi's backed out of that one. Let's see what Marino's doing. He's had to back out of that one as well. Everybody starting to bunch up, coming towards Juncal, turn 12 and then turn 13 up the hill to get onto the first lap. Stream is very quiet, Evan. In what way? Is it myself or is it the game stream? Can you let me know, please, buddy? That would be very useful. I'm still adjusting my own sliders because I have everything reset, unfortunately, during the off-season. So is it me that's quiet or is it the game that's quiet? If you could let me know, and I'll make the necessary adjustments where possible. But thank you for letting me know. Very much appreciated. But if you can let me know which one it is. I'm guessing it's the stream itself, the in-game. But if you can let me know for definite, that would be fantastic. And then I can make sure to adjust. I've just adjusted the in-game volume anyway. So you can let me know if that's good, Evan. That would be absolutely brilliant. I really appreciate your assistance with that. So, Black Phoenix retires, so the Ferrari driver is going to be no higher than 12th on the grid. And Tubby Ninja's not going to be any higher than 13th. We're watching the current pole sitter, Andreas Diocco, coming through in the Williams at the moment. He is on his lap as the checkered flag falls as they come up towards the line. We've got one of the Haas drivers coming towards the line. That will be Vallecero, unable to improve on P9, although he did improve by a tenth of a second on his lap time. Kelvin has just gone through as Cisco has gone through in third, and the ASK is in fourth position. Oscar Minero couldn't take pole position back from Andreas, so here comes the Williams driver down towards the end of sector 2. He's gone purple in sector 2, so he's absolutely flying all the way up the hill. Fantastic stuff from him, and let's see what he can do coming towards the line. Can he improve on 1 minute 6.4? It looks like he's going to. Can we get into the 1 minute 5s? Not quite. There's a 1 minute 6.3. He goes 1/10 clear everyone else. Fantastic lap time from him. Lattice coming to the line now. Can he improve? And he stays in 7th. It was an improvement on his lap time, but not on his position. I'll just go down the order. Jor in the McLaren. He's half throttling up the hill, so he's not going to improve. Felipe Santos moves up 1 place into 18th position, and that does end qualifying for the first race, first evaluation race here on AOR, and it is Andreas Diocco in the Williams who takes pole position from Oscar Marino in second, Suso in third, Dresden fourth, and Adrip. In-game is almost silent. Thank you, Sim Race Train. I will just make another adjustment on that. It's a tricky one to get right because last season I had to take it down quite a bit on OBS to help with the adjustment, so I was expecting to put it quite low. So let me know if that's changed anything. I'll just quickly jump on board here with Felipe. Tell me what you can hear within that. That would be fantastic. But I am going to be making adjustments as we go along. I'm not going to lie. It's a bit in a tune-up race for me, a bit of an evaluation race for me as well, so to speak, and trying to get my sliders and everything in tune before the start of the new season. I might actually, well qualifying as finishing, just quickly pop it on my phone. So if you get a bit of a double feed, do ignore me. And I do apologise. Why is it saying a set of course of competency on there? Just bloody stupid. It's double streaming, that's why. For goodness sake. Right, where are we? That one, thank you. Right, let's have a look. Yeah, see what you mean actually, it's just me. Okay, that's a weird one. Why is that? Why is that? Let me check something, I'm curious. So the reason we'll have two titles there is because YouTube's decided to change things, and for some reason I don't know what's going on there. So apologies for that. But yeah, because I just noticed as well for myself that there's another stream with saying a set of course of competizione. I don't know what's going on there, so I do apologies. I will try and see if I can end that one. Might be useful. Not sure what's going on with the game volume. I'm quite annoyed at that one, I'm not going to lie. So it is pretty much silent. So that's very, very frustrating. But anyway, quite a lot of Spaniards in tonight, it would seem. So Andreas Diocco, pole position from Oscar Merino in second, Suso in third, Dresden fourth, Adrip in fifth, Fabi in sixth, Lata seventh, Lakabata in eighth, Ukrainian Joker in ninth, Vallecero in 10th, Kelvin 11th, so the top 10 will all have to start on the tyres who qualified the sauce. And look at that, Joker with a 5-place grid penalty as well. Kelvin in 11th, Black Phoenix in 12th, Tubby Ninja 13th, JG is in 14th, Luiso 15th, George 16th, Marek 17th, Felipe Santos 18th, and unfortunately I didn't quite catch who it was in 19th there, so I do apologise. Let me just see if I can get rid of this second stream, because I didn't even realise it was doing that, so that's quite frustrating. Still silent, can hardly hear the car. Right, okay, yeah, I'm wondering if the second stream might have something to do with it. As I say, I've not streamed since I know YouTube made some changes, and I've not streamed since that point, I've got to be honest with you, so I don't know if that's maybe part of the reason. What I'll do at the moment is let me just pop the calendar up there so you can see what we've got coming up through the season. That is going to be your season 20 calendar. Let me just make some adjustments here quickly. Maybe it's something to do within my side of things, I wonder. Because I have been playing about with some stuff. But this is why I wanted to do this. This is why I wanted to do this this evaluation race, as I need to obviously adjust my own things. I need to make sure that everything I'm doing is on point as well, and try and make sure everything's ahead of time too. So it's a tricky one to get right, and hopefully, now that we're coming back, hopefully the game volume will pick back up. Again, if it's still quiet, I'm not too sure what more I'll be able to do at this point in time, so I do apologise. But do let me know if it is still quiet once we come back on now. But it's very frustrating. It's certainly not what I was wanting. But it's just one of those quite annoying things that can happen from time to time. We'll bring the tyres up quickly. Only 2 drivers going for the mediums, Tubby Ninja in 12th and Marek down in 17th position. Let's just see if we can get this one up, viewing the live controller, and let's see if we can get this Assetto Corsa one off. Maybe that will help. I think I've used the stream key that they've had before, so let me just see if I can end that. Hopefully I don't end the other one. Dismiss, thank you. And hopefully we are still live. Yep. That should have taken care. Unfortunately still silent. Okay, so I'm not too sure what's happening there, because I do have everything set up just as it should be. I really am frustrated at that beyond belief. It's a very tricky one. I'm not too sure. It's something I'm going to need to test, and it's something I can't test while we're in game, unfortunately. So I don't know if there's some YouTube settings or something that's changed, but that's quite annoying. I wonder if it's got anything to do with my mic, because I'm plugged in with USB. Hold on. Let's see if we can do this quickly. Try to think anything will help. Right, let's try this then. Hopefully everyone can still hear me. Yes, I do want to do that. Thank you. I'm not sure if that'll make a difference, but we'll give it a try anyway. It's worth a shot. We'll see what we can do. If it is still silent, I do apologise everyone. It's not going to be a huge amount I can do with that here just now. We've got 5 red lights ahead of the first race here on AOR for 2020. Thank you for enjoying the stream anyway, and the lights out and away we go. And well, there's a lot of ghosting going on, so we don't know where anybody is. Looks like half of them have been left on the grid. But ASK's got ahead up front. There's oh my goodness me, there's an awful lot of ghosting happening here. It's already saying some people are on lap 2. Cars everywhere, there's a crash there. Racing Point across the track. Renault in the background as well. Let's try and see if we can pick out who that might have been. Just everything changing. Now everybody comes back into order. Andreas has managed to get away very well indeed. It was Lacabata and Fabi who we've seen spinning. And thankfully all the ghosting has settled itself out very quickly there. A move going on down for 8th position. That's Kelvin just moving up the order there, and Sean getting ahead as well. And look at, oh my goodness me, we've got 3-4 wide coming out at turn number 8. The 2 Mercedes are bumping wheels with each other as Drez makes his way through on his teammate Joker, who's now got Dawujor going around the outside into the Bico de Pato, sliding their way out of the corner. Very lot of action going on down through Majulo. Got plenty going on. We look from the back of the Mercedes. Look at the McLaren flinging it up the inside. And there he is, still there in the background, going side by side with Fabio Jor as we come up towards the start. Andreas has lost out in the lead as well. We're just going to quickly jump back forward. No, he's not actually lost the lead, has he? No, he's not. It's just the game glitching the timing. So it looks like Andreas is still in the lead. Oscar's actually dropped down to 3rd on the track behind Suso. I know, sorry. It's because I was trying to fix things. So, where are we? There we go. I just realised I left formation laptop as well. But yeah, that was quite a fun bit of lapping going on there, wasn't it? Plenty going on, and well, a lot of differences here. There's your predicted pit stop strategy, which means I've got 1 less graphic to deal with this season. 1 stopper soft to hard, and around about lap 13. You can do a 2 stopper if you want to as well. That will change as the race goes on, so do keep an eye on that. That might just adjust itself. We're on board with Oscar Moreno. There is the Racing Point of Suso up ahead, so the Renault driver losing out to the racing point in the early laps there. You look behind, you can see Ask a Drip coming up behind in the Alpha. So your top 5 is Andreas Dioco, Suso, Oscar Marino, Ask Drip, I can never get that right, Vallechello, up to P5. He's had a very good start indeed, as you can see, up 4 places from his starting position. Also up 4 places is Black Phoenix. He's up into 7th position. Luiso in the Red Bull was up 5 positions, but he's now up only 4 positions because Drez has just gone through as well. Looks like a slow moving Haas there, just off the racing line. That is Vallechello. So having just made up 4 places, he's now dropped down. He's 2 down now. So just shows you how quick things can change on the track. And let's bring up the track map just now as well. And you can see he's easily getting back by there on Luiso. So the Red Bull having a little bit of issues on the way out. Lock up there from the Haas. And look at the train in behind. You've got Sean, Fabi, Joker, Jor, Felipe Santos not far off behind. What's Fabi going to do? His clever bit here would be to hang tight because DRS is now enabled. But a tank slapper there for the Pink Panther coming out of Juncal heading up the hill. Right on board with the Ferrari. You can see this DRS wide open. Don't think the racing point's going to be close enough. Coming up towards turn number 1, but looking behind that McLaren, diving. Joker missed his braking point as well, and the racing point's got a great run through the Senais, through the Curva del Sol. He's going to go going side by side with us. There we go. Nicely done. He's going to get the position into Decido del Lago, or is he? Because Sean's going to fight it, but no, he's got the move done, and that is the racing point up into P number 12. Joker, meanwhile, down the field, 14th position for him. He comes up through Ferradura on Jor. A bit of light braking from both of them into the Senais that last time by. Still Andreas Dioco up front, just shy a second clear for Suso, with Oscar Moreno still in 3rd position. Adrep in 4th and Lata still in 5th, so no real change in the top 5 since lap number 1. Black Phoenix up 5 positions, he's in 6th place. Kelvin in the Alpha Tauri in 7th as Suso sets the fastest lap so far, 1 minute 9 there from the Racing Point driver. Drez in 8th position, Tubby Ninja up in 9th, you can see Vallechello in 10th, Fabi getting by on Luiso to take over 11th, so 2 positions in 2 laps there for the Racing Point. Lacabata just getting by on Felipe Santos, that's over 16th and 17th position, a bit further down the field. Bit of field spread as we can see, 35 seconds covers first to last. You can see, the Mercedes just having a little nibble there of Joker on Sean into Decido del Lago. He's trying to get a move on because he's got Jor in behind him in the McLaren. Up through Ferradura they go, and that's an unwanted place to be. The sandwich in that, the meat in that sandwich there, but the Ferraris have locked up the brakes going into turn 8 through Pinarino turn 9. The Mercedes tries to go the long way round the outside. It's now got the inside line for the Pico de Pato, locking up from the Ferrari, but the Mercedes is through, and now the McLaren's going to try and follow through, coming through Juncal, but not close enough. Oh, he's run very wide there, has Sean. He's going to have to take the escape road back on, and he's still going to hold the line. He's going to have got a great run out the corner, but that won't have helped his tyres, and Jor moves up into P14 for now, but look out for the Red Bull. Not the Red Bull, sorry, it's the Renault Lacobata. He's going to try and have both of them down into turn 1. Look at that, up the inside he goes, 3 wide into the Senais. They're still 3 wide coming down, and well, Jor lost out there from being in front. He loses out 2 positions, as these guys are getting very feisty indeed on the opening laps of this race. There's the Ferrari to the inside, he's going to follow through. No, he's not close enough, bumps through, nothing going on there, and manages to hold the position, still going side by side up towards Ferradura. These two go, but not to be happening for a moment. We're going to jump back towards the front of the field though, because Suso is closing in on Andreas Dioco, and he's dragging along Oscar Marino as well, so these 3 are disappearing up front. And if you are wondering as well why there's no one picking up any sort of damage, because it is an evaluation race to try and help out, damage is off. Now, it doesn't mean the drivers can go demolition derby mode though, that's for sure. They do still need to behave and race within the rules, but to make sure everyone can get to the end of the race, damage is off here tonight in the evaluation races, and always has been. to be honest as well. That allows everyone to finish the race with their true pace without the race being hindered by an unnecessary change of wing. You can see these three are pretty much showing to be the class of the field at the moment. Oh my goodness, there's a Mercedes, and that is why he's reset on track. That's a little bit cheeky, even though he's ghosted out. That's something that I don't think you're supposed to be doing there, but that's the reason why the damage is off, because if that was the case, that would have been Drez out of the race, and how can the coordinators then pick up on that as to what it is, where they need to place this particular driver? Felipe Santos has just gone by on Sean as well. The Ferrari driver starting to struggle and fall down the field. He's still 2 places up, having started in last. You can just see he's starting to struggle for a little bit of pace at the moment. Luiso has just had a bit of an incident as well with Drez, so Mercedes really getting involved now. The 2 Mercedes are fighting it out amongst themselves, with a Renault coming up behind them. Drez is really struggling to get the power down, and easily we go through. I think Drez just let that one happen. Kelvin has just got through on Black Phoenix up ahead. We are going to follow though as the Renault flies to the inside. Nicely getting that move done around the outside of the Senais, and Drez is into pit lane. He's had enough, deciding to make an early pit stop in the race. We'll just quickly follow Joker, trying to take back 12th position and see if he can get it done down into the Decido del Lago, but he cannot. And we come back up towards the top 3 here in this race, and I'm just going to quickly have a little listen to the stream. He's had enough. Yeah, it's pretty much just me we're here, so that's very frustrating indeed. That's something I'm going to need to try and figure out, if it's something at my end or if it's something within the YouTube settings. But it's not something I was expecting, so apologies for the pretty much lack of in-game audio that you're getting here this evening. I'm not too chuffed at that at all. I'm not too sure what's caused that, unfortunately. Very, very annoying indeed. But that's why I'm doing this. Gives me an idea of what needs to be done. Still the top 3 though, lap 9. Fabi's just gone by on Tubby Ninja, who's locked up the brakes and nearly went into the back off that racing point there, coming into the Senna S, but Fabi holding the position, dropped down the field early doors, just 2 places lost now, having started in 6th position. They had dropped quite a way down previous to that. Tubby Ninja on the medium tyres, one of only 2 drivers on the mediums. So he'll be looking to try and take that longer into the race and see what he's able to do maybe later on. Let's just work our way through the field, try and give everyone a little bit of screen time where possible. Well, I've been watching a lot of Lakabata, Joker and Jor down the field. Let's jump on board with the other medium compound runner, which is Marek in the AlphaTauri. And I'll just see what he's doing at the moment as well. He's trying to chase down Sean, closing up nicely as JG Pitt picks up a 3-second time penalty. And you can see there the Ferrari running wide again. The AlphaTauri sticks its nose up the inside there. That would have been a wing plate end fencing there. I think Joker's gone off, and the McLaren as well. So Jor and Joker have come to blows, and both of them have come off 2nd best or even 5th best at that time. Joker gets going back in 14th position, losing out to both Red Bulls. Jor loses out to the battle between Marek and Sean as well, so that's really cost him quite badly. Marek will be looking very nicely at the back of these 2, thinking I can have a go another big lock up there from Sean. That could be someone who's learning his way through no assists, which I can tell you, having done it myself, it's no easy thing to be doing no assists if you're not used to it. So if that's exactly what's going on, fair play to him, because it is not the easiest thing in the world to be doing. I can tell you that. Tubby Ninja and Vallechello side by side through Pinarino, and still side by side, coming up towards the Bico de Pato. Medium tyres in the McLaren, the softs on the Haas, and they're still side by side. Oh my goodness me, that was a squeeze and a half if I've ever seen one. Vallechello holds on to the position, but I get the feeling Tubby Ninja will be through before very much longer. Let's just look at a little bit here. He's not using overtake at the moment, is the McLaren. He might now. Yeah, there he goes, puts it up into overtake and easily gets the overspeed up towards turn number 1. Does the Haas go for the dive up the inside? No, he does not. Tubby Ninja makes another position up into P number 9. Only pit stop so far is Drez, who's back in again for his 2nd stop of this race as we watch as Vallechello now with a DRS himself down towards the Cido del Lago. And he gets the move done, takes the position back. Asking in the chat there for Shazam, all F1 AOR races are on a Sunday. Yes, they are indeed. New season starts on the 6th of September, unless there's any other delays, which will be, oh my goodness, put out on the AOR Twitter feed and within the forums. Most of the races are at 8 PM. However, the top tier for PS4, which is what was what I was doing last season, that would start around about 7 o'clock or just before 7 o'clock on Sunday. The top tier for PC is 8 o'clock, so all PC tiers are 8 o'clock, and the top tier for Xbox One would be at 9 o'clock. So every tier is 8 o'clock except for the PS4 top tier, which is 7, and the Xbox top tier, which is 9. The top tiers are split by an hour each side. As you can see, the pit window is open for the one-stoppers on the soft as Tubby Ninja goes up the inside into turn number 1 with Vallechello. I've been watching this one for pretty much an entire lap now. Those on the softs can do the one-stopper now, going onto the hard compound within the next couple of laps. So that pit window is now open, and a nice little addition of graphics, which I'm very happy to see, because it means I have less work to do when it comes to making them up, which is good. Back to the front. Hello, Gabriel. Not seen you in a while. How are you doing, mate? Back to the front now. Andreas Dioco doing a lovely job of defending from Suso and Oscar Minero. These guys have just scampered clear from everyone else up front. As you can see, pit window also open if you want to do the mediums as well. So coming from onto a medium compound, the tyre from the soft, you can now do it. You can see we've got a pit stop happening behind, which is Adrip. There you go, it's actually a hard one, so we're getting multiple pit window scenarios here. Let's watch the Alfa Romeo in pit lane. We've actually got a yellow flag in sector 2. Oh, and it's Joker, is it? Yes, Joker off again. Unfortunate for him. Dropping down the field one more time. That's another possible incident that's happened there for him. Pit stop's happening, so we've got Adref came in the Alpha. He's on the hard compound of tyres, as is Fabi and Vallechello. So, a couple of pit stops happening now. We'll see how long before the top 3 decide to come in the pits, because they're pretty much running nose to tail at this very point just now, as they come up towards Juncal for the 13th time of 36. We're at pretty much just over 1/3 race distance. This is an evaluation race for the season 20 here in Apex Online Racing. Any pit stops? No, a little bit of a dummy there from Andreas, just to try and see if he could get the racing point to head into pit lane. Got another yellow flag, and it is Marek this time in the AlphaTauri, who's gone off coming through turn 5, struggling to get the power down on his way out. Thankfully the ghosting helping there means no one is going to collect him up towards Suso though. Getting very close to the back of that Williams. And that was a sight I was used to seeing last season, a Williams towards the front, and the S2V Danny MG taking the PS4 F1 top tier championship and battling with his teammate Williams Jim Sven throughout the season as well. So will that be something we see in the top tier this coming season? We need to wait and see who gets tiered and where, obviously. W. Jor picking up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings of track limits. We've got plenty of action going on down the field. It was Vallechello getting by, Jor trying to hold off Sean behind or get past him. It might be, as Kelvin picks up a penalty as well. JG Pitt is into pit lane, funnily enough. And we're back with the top 3. And there goes the race leader. So race leader into the pit lane, and Oscar Minero's followed him in as well and just gets it slowed down in a nick of time. So Suso is going to carry on and take over the race lead at the moment. We'll just follow through. Can Renault get their man out ahead of the Williams driver? Oh, there's been a hold up there for the Williams by the looks of it, and you can see the Renault's got ahead. So the Williams driver getting held there in pit lane for some reason, and that's allowed Oscar Moreno to make the move, and your pole sitter drops down to P4. So that's a loss of a place there for the Williams driver. Comes back out in P4 though, so he's still got the ability to make anything happen here. But that's not what you want to happen when you're out in pit lane. You see Fabi coming round as Kelvin coming out of pit lane on the right hand side. You just about see him there. There we go. Oh, how did that happen? That's a strange one. Hold on, 2 seconds. Ah, okay, so I can jump back to the last person. I don't think that's meant to happen. Anyway. Does Apex Online Racing have Instagram? I don't think we do, actually. I don't run the social media side of things, so I'm not sure. Obviously, we know about the Twitter, which you can find in the description down below. So if you haven't already followed that, go do that as well. That's where you'll find most of the information is on Twitter. I don't think we have Instagram, though, but that would be one for our social media team, so never asked them. I've got to be honest, Instagram's never been my thing, personally, so hey, there you go. Lattice into pit lane, as is Suso. So that's going to then put Oscar Moreno into the lead of the race from your pole sitter Andreas Dioco. Lap 16 of 36. We've got 20 laps to go, still a fair way to go in this evaluation race. Thank you very much for tuning in and dealing with the lack of audio that I'm getting from the game. Very frustrating indeed. And I asked you guys to get 13 more subs. Who unsubscribed? Who was it? I'll come find you. As you can see, I'm having a bit of fun here tonight as well. That was a shame to see some people unsubscribing, but not quite sure why. I'm sure it's a good reason, I hope. Look at this Tubby Ninja. He's on 15 lap old mediums, not pitted yet. You got A-Drip up ahead of him on 2 lap old mediums, on 2 lap old hard compound, sorry, for the Alpha. So he's maybe struggling to get some temperature into those tyres. But he's starting to eke away now. The McLaren driver will be struggling with these tyres as they start to go off. We'll come back to the front to see Suso has came out ahead of Andreas Dioco as well. So the Williams driver, that pit lane hold up, you've seen it on screen, he got held before they serviced the car. That has cost him 2 positions, and these 3 are very evenly matched. So that could be the worst thing to happen for him. 3 Spaniards, all these 3 at the front. Very Spanish orientated field here this evening. But he will not have been happy there. That certainly won't have done any good at all. You see, Jokers finally came into the pit lane, the last driver to get off the soft compound tyre, and that'll mean that everybody except for Tubby Ninja, because Marek is in as well, has made a pit stop. So only the McLaren driver still to pit in this race. There he is there. Not quite able to hold on to the back of that Alfa Romeo. You've got the fresh medium compound Haas Lattice coming up behind him as well, as we jump back and forth between the camera angles. Quite disconcerting how you can do that far too easily, I must say. Right, so whoever you were last on board with, it works. Okay, that's a different one. Wasn't quite expecting that. Let's follow Lattice coming up towards turn number 1. Apologies if anyone's getting an eyesore from me jumping cameras, but I know there was some new features added, and I am just working with them as best as I can. So as you can see, I'm now looking back from the Haas, but I was on board watching Suso. So yeah, I mean, if I can make that work well, that's going to work out quite nicely. You can see there, he's got through though, as Lattice on Tubby Ninja. That's the McLaren there behind him, so good move there from the Haas driver. As we come back towards the front, you can see Vallechello as well, fighting it out with La Cabata, and they're being forced off the track there through the Decido del Lago. They're not going to go side by side up towards Ferragera. No, La Cabata getting a little bit of a tank slapper there on the way up the hill, and that's going to hold him a little bit more. Yellow flag in sector 1. Wonder if it was the back marker getting out of the way of the lead 3, even though the car ghosted, which for me, I don't like. If you're lapping a lapped car, you've got to do it. It's what happens in real life, so yeah, that's my opinion. But these 3 have been a class of the field here this evening. They're 10 seconds clear of anybody else. Absolutely fantastic stuff. We'll just put the lap data up for a few laps now, just see what sort of sector times these guys are doing in comparison to their best and to the session best. We'll just see where we are. We're looking at the front suspension. Can't quite see the brake ducts, which have been a point of contention for the racing points in real life this season already. I know it's been the rear ones they've focused on, but they had the front ones as well. Off in Mercedes. The tracing point, as a lot of people have called it, and it looks like Sean, Joker and Jor. Yep. Having issues again, Jor around this time. Lakabata's gone side by side here with the Haas. Oh, a little bit of touch. He's got the move done. Nicely done, just holding the position there up for Ferragura. That was very brave indeed. We come back on board with Suso. Stroker's just got by on Sean down in 14th position. Where did I put my juice? I need a drink. It's been a while since I've done a commentary on my own, I must be honest. Been some good action out here on the track today. I just wish you could hear everything, so it makes it a bit more enjoyable, obviously. But these three have been fantastic. Oscar Marrero, Suso, Andreas Dioco. I think we could see these guys, depending on what assists they're using, because I'm not sure on that. I think we could see these guys towards the top 3 or 5 tiers, certainly the top 5, possibly even some at 1 or 2, and maybe even in the top 3 tiers coming into this new season. Again, I don't know what everybody's pace is. I've been kind of keeping a bit quiet during the off season, keeping myself to myself and doing a few other things and all the rest of it, so be interesting to see what everyone gets. But certainly here tonight, these three have been the class of the field, pulling away easily from everyone else. And if we actually have a look through the field leader, they're going to probably lap everybody up to at least 13th or 12th at this rate, maybe even a couple more than that, might even get to the top 10. But they're definitely moving well, but they're doing a really good job at defending too. I mean, they've been running this close lap after lap pretty much since the opening lap of the race, so been doing an absolutely fantastic job as you go by in the McLaren there, which will be a Jor. Yellow flag in sector 2 will be him staying out of the way. But they've been showing some really, really good pace, and obviously with this game now, ERS is a lot easier to manage overall. I mean, there's no more changing between 5 or 6 different settings, corner to corner, lap after lap. It stays in one setting, and if you want to turn the power up, you hit a button and put it into overtake mode. But it drains the battery very much indeed if you use overtake. You can see here that Oscar Moreno is using overtake mode at the moment just briefly to power him out up the hill, and he's only got 17% of the battery left, whereas Suso has got over 50% of his battery left as they go by on the AlphaTauri of JG Pitt. And the Williams holding on there of Andreas Dioca, he's got 41% of battery, so you can see the differences that each driver is using here in terms of their ERS management. Using overtake, some of them using it coming out of the corners. We'll see if Suso decides to fire on overtake here. He does, just briefly coming out the corner there. You can see just to get a little bit of additional grunt down and get the traction down and just power out. So he's trying to use it tactically, and he's doing the best at managing at the moment. We'll turn off all the other wee bits and pieces just now so we can get a clear look at the screen. Vallechello and Lacabata. Oh my god, the Renault was off the track there coming through the Curva del Sol as these two are basically pushing each other like dodgem cars down towards turn number 4. Side by side we go into the Decido del Lago, but the Renault has got through. Now, what would be the final points paying position if this was a genuine league race rather than an evaluation? But look at this, Vallechello is going to go the long way around Ferragura, surely not. No, he has to back out of that. The Renault's got the line, but big tank slapper on the exit there for the Renault driver, and you can see the Haas has now got the inside line for Pinarino, but you can drive round the outside here, round this corner. If you can hold on, you've now got the inside line for the Bico de Pato, locking up. The Haas is still holding on round the outside, now got the inside line coming down through Maggio, and the Renault has to give way, and that was a nice little bit of driving there after the initial bump through turn 3 from those two. And you can see there Vallechello getting through. Tubby Ninjas finally into the pits. Lap 22 onto lap 23. He's going to put a set of soft tyres on, so keep an eye on him the end of this race. He could be very quick indeed. As you can see here, the Renault going to the outside. We're side by side through turn 1 one more time into turn number 2. Where is the Haas? It's still there, going up through the Curva del Sol. We're following it all the way through, side by side. They're getting so close to each other down the straight. There is the McLaren as well, coming out just ahead of these guys in 9th position. And Vallechello holds on to the position, and that's one bit I do enjoy about the change to the camera angle. We can follow the side-by-side action a lot more than what we could before, which is absolutely fantastic, giving a bit of control to proceedings for the camera operator or commentator's camera operating, as Lakabata gets very close to the rear ending of the Haas there. Joker's just gone by on Felipe Santos up into what is 13th position down the field, those two. Certainly not what they would have been hoping for here tonight. Back towards the front, you can see the Ferrari there, that's Sean, who'll be getting lapped. So we look back from the banana car, the black and yellow of the Renault. You can see there Andreas Dioco just getting by on the Ferrari. It's ghosting through because it's a lapped car. Lakabata, Valakello are fighting again. Later, just as we go on board there with the Renault, you can see the Haas just sliding up the inside. A little bit of a cha-cha slide to the left, and he just slid off screen to the right. Lakabata holds on to that place for now. Coming into the closing stages of this race, I think these three, regardless of how they finish, can be very happy with what they've done here tonight in terms of their overall pace. I think they've done some really good work, and they've kept it clean, kept it tidy, and I think they've done a really, really good job. I think these three can be proud of themselves no matter what happens from now on in. Obviously, I don't know what the coordinators look for in terms of making the tiers up, and I do not envy their job, that's for sure. You're going to have about, what, 10 to 15 tiers on PS4, maybe 10 or so on PC, based on last year, and however many on Xbox. I think that was maybe about 7 or 8, plus Oceania as well, if it's still going, America's leagues. That's a lot of tiers. Then you put in the assist tiers as well. It's an awful lot of people to place, and those guys behind the scenes that we have here at AOR, and indeed, to be completely honest with you, in any league who has multiple tiers, they really deserve a round of applause for what they do. They sometimes get a bit of stick off of drivers who feel they've been placed in the wrong tier, but it's not an easy job, that's for sure. So hopefully we can have another fantastic season of Apex Online Racing Hype Energy moving forward. At 26 to 36, oh, the Alfa Romeo locking up there at Adref. He's done 12 laps on those hard compound tires, should be able to take it to the end no problem. Lata's picking up a penalty there for just getting a little bit curb happy through turn 2 at the bottom of the hill. And you can see Andreas Dioco just starting to close back up now on these guys. So he's possibly been saving a little bit of his battery and then using it up again because he's already down to under 20%. Kelvin picks up a penalty. Lovely helicopter camera shot as he comes down Magulo through the dive. Really like that camera shot, it's a really nice one. There he's back up the hill. There's a racing point, fancy getting close enough this time. DRS is on. He's getting closer. Does he fancy a dive up the inside? He's going to fill the mirrors off the Renault. He's not close enough, and I would say that Oscar Moreno is doing a very good job tactically. He'll be using that overtake button very tactfully indeed, but his rate of battery is decreasing rapidly. He's going to need a lot of harvesting here coming up through these next few corners to just give himself a boost up the hill one more time. Let's run ourselves down the order. Tubby Ninja catching up to Black Phoenix, and he's the only driver out there on the soft compound tyre apart from Drez, who's just pitted for what I believe is something like the third or fourth time that Mercedes has been into the pits tonight, and I think we're about to see an overtake here from the McLaren on the Ferrari. It is the late 90s all over again. It's Coulthard and Hakkinen versus Schumacher and Barrichello, or Irvine, depending on which year you're looking at, and it's the McLaren that comes out on top. Tubby Ninja going through and up into 8th position, and for doing the alternative strategy, he's had some pretty solid pace so far here this evening. I'm sure he'll be pretty happy with what he's done so far. He's got 6 seconds to catch up to Kelvin ahead. Depending on how quick he can get a move on, might be possible before the end of the race, so we'll keep an eye on his progress. We'll see how he does. We need to go back to the front three because they're within half a second of each other. This is going to start getting pretty tasty towards the end of this race. Oscar Moreno trying to defend. You can see in the background, well, on the screen anyway, you've got Lattice and Drepf going side by side. Where is the Alpha? There it is. It's dropped to position, and the Haas has got DRS to assist him. Nice little move there to hold on. Oh, and Dioko getting very close to the back of Suso into turn number 8 there, down towards Pinario turn number 9, and up towards Bico de Pato with turn 10 and 11. Turn 11 is Megullo down the hill. You can see the Red Bull trying to stay out of the way, even though it's ghosting, which is good awareness in my opinion from the driver. That's what the yellow flag is. Turn 12 through Juncal and up through the curbs to 13, 14 and 15. Back towards the start and finish line. Dres for the fastest lap, 1 minute 8.1, but he's down in 19th in last place. 38 seconds off anyone else at this point in time. And again, Suso getting very, very close, and you can see there Oscar Dioko getting there, and Trez decides to retire from the session, so he's had enough as the other Mercedes, a Joker, goes by on Luiso, just in behind this lead bunch. Yellow flag in sector 3, we've got Jor around again, possibly. No, he's not, he's actually side by side with JG Pitt, the Williams and the McLaren. This is another 90s throwback, if you ask me. Or early 2000s with a Williams BMW, depends what you fancy us. A yellow flag down here. It's away now, and that's allowed Jor to hold that position. Back to the front, guys. And Oscar Moreno, I've got to say, in a Renault around Brazil, defending from cars behind, this has given me flashbacks to season 18 here on AOR PS4 F1, where S2V Danny MG done a fantastic job after the pit stops to hold off from everyone behind to take a brilliant victory. It was a great stepping stone for El Matador, which then led to what was the AOR F1 PS4 title last season, season 19. He will be back, I do believe, to defend it this season in season 20. Really looking forward to seeing that, that's for sure. Fantastic. Probably one of the quickest drivers out there at the moment, Danny, I would say, in my personal opinion. There's a lot of quick guys out there. I'm really looking forward to hopefully commentating on again this season. Danny being one, we've got Williams, Jim Sven, we've got Casper, Blizzard's really starting to show more and more pace. Just so many good guys out there, so really looking forward to this season coming up. There's just a couple of names there as well, as Lakabata has gone by on Black Phoenix, who's found himself touring the inside and wanting to go for a tour of the lakes possibly, but that's not the right thing to do in a Ferrari. You don't want to go rally driving. Vallechello into pit lane with only 6 laps to go, and a 5-second pit lane speeding penalty for his troubles. He's obviously fancied, he just wants to go for the fastest lap of the race. Adrip is holding on to the back here of Lattice. There's Medium's maybe just starting to go off on that Haas. It's only done 13 laps. Drep's on the hards, it's done 16. You can see Kelvin is coming up towards them as well. And no, he's not actually, I do apologise, I'm getting mixed up. That's someone else there. It's one of the lapped cars that's ghosting, so I just got myself slightly confused at that one. Do apologise. But let's follow the front lot one more time, shall we? Suso in second. The meeting a Renault and Williams sandwich between that man, Oscar Marino, and that man in the Williams, the pole sitter here tonight, Andreas Dioko. And easily well out in front, 17, nearly 18 seconds clear of fourth place, which is JR Lattice. We were just watching there with Drep, trying to close in on him. They've got a nice gap to Fabi, who's in 6th position. And we'll have a wee look here at your biggest gainers and losers through this race so far. 4 positions gained for 3 different drivers. Tubby Ninja down in 8th position. He was on the alternative strategy, having started outside the top 10. Felipe Santos up 4 positions, as is shown. They're down in 14th and 15th respectively. And look at Suso, he's getting very close. He's going to make a dive here into the Senais. Can he get the move done? Up the inside he goes. No, not close enough on this occasion, but he's got a great run out of the Senais down towards the Cido del Lago. DRS is going to be an easy move. Look at the overspeed he's got down towards the corner, and he is through and into the lead of the race. Suso moves up into P1 Puts Oscar Moreno back down to his starting position at P2. Andreas Diocco still trying to get back up to his starting position. But he's just going to follow this for now at a racing point. Showing some very nice pace and a very nice move. Clean driving from both drivers there. Very nicely done. Change at the front with only 5 laps to go, including the one they're on. So 4.5 if you want to be picky. My commentating buddy Kieran McGinley would say. We're watching Adrepf trying to catch up to Lattice, couple of lap cars ahead. That'll be Felipe Santos and Sean. I do believe that we're seeing a Red Bull and a Ferrari close together on track. Black Phoenix has been back into pit lane as well. Yeah, it was a very good pass by Suso there. Indeed, I do agree with you there, Fernandez. Very nicely done from the racing point driver. And he'd been lining it up. He'd been doing quite well, keeping close. Saved a little bit of battery up as well. Just got a really good exit and then got a great exit through turn 2 and through turn 3. Nicely done down to turn 4. Set it up the long way round, all the way from the Gulo basically. Very nicely done indeed. Can Oscar fight back though in these last couple of laps? Can Andreas Diocco do anything in these last couple of laps as well? That would be an interesting one to see. He's been kind of sitting there patiently waiting. As you can see there, Sean goes by on Felipe Santos. They're a little bit bumpy nearly there. You can see the Red Bull still ghosting because they're the lapped cars that they've just, well, the cars that have just lapped them ahead, which is of Lattice and Adrepf. So that's obviously caused a few issues there. You can see the Ferrari's now ghosting up ahead due to its proximity to the lead cars up ahead, as is the Red Bull now. And that can be quite frustrating for drivers, I would imagine. You see Sean's the biggest gainer now, up 5 positions. He was struggling earlier on as well. So, good recovery in the late stages just to keep the car on the straight and narrow, keeping it on the black stuff. And he looks like he's going to come away at 14th or 15th position. He's got 7 seconds to catch up to Luis, so the other Red Bull up ahead in 13th. And look at Oscar trying to get the slipstream. Suso moved right to the inside, nearly into the pit lane exit. He went there to avoid the slipstream, and this Renault's looking pretty feisty. And coming up towards the penultimate lap shortly with 2 to go and across the line in this evaluation race here in the PS4. It doesn't look like Andreas Diocco's got anything to answer to these two at the moment. But then again, maybe he's keeping the powder dry, waiting for a last lap lunge coming forward. Look at this though. Adrepf is really closing in on Lattice. It looks like those medium tyres, despite being technically fresher in terms of laps that have been done on them, as you can see 17 to 20, the hard tyres are working an absolute treat for the Alpha at the moment. And the Haas is going to have a hard time holding him off over these last couple of laps. Back to the front though. Penultimate lap, here we go, and you can see that Renault's used all of its ERS. There's nothing left. He's given it absolutely everything, and he still can't quite get close enough to make a move. But he's got one more time into turn 1. Can he do anything into turn 2? I think the clever thing here for the Renault would be save the ERS, just keep it, build it up, don't use overtake. Try and save as much as you can through the twisty infield section, and then unleash as much as you can up the hill, but save yourself a little bit for down to turn 4. You're going to need it. You can see Suso's down to about 18%, so he's got slightly better battery than Oscar, but not by much. Diocco's there as well, just closing in. They're all around the same battery level, around about 20% at the moment, so that's going to make things very interesting indeed. No one has a distinct advantage when it comes to battery life coming up towards this final lap between these three. Here we go up the hill, and you can see there Suso's got a great run out of Junção, and that's going to hinder Oscar big time. Andreas Diocco, can he do anything coming up towards turn 1? He's out ERS as well, down to 0. Fuel lights on as we're on to the final lap. There is a valuation race here this evening, and Minaro picking up a 3-second time penalty, so any chance of taking the win out the window, but it is more about your race pace overall. Let's watch Lattice and Adrepf. The Alpha going to have to go the long way round if he wants to get the move done into P4. The Haas locks up going into turn number 1. It's going to give the Alpha a great run through 2, but the Haas kind of parked it on the apex, and now going to go the long way round. And look at the DRS assistance, making that very easy indeed up towards turn number 4, and that move is finito. But here we are back at the front, down the hill for the last time. There's quite a few penalties, we'll see where it all finalises itself out, but on track at least. This man, P3 on the grid, in the racing point, the Pink Panther, prowling here tonight in Interlagos. Up towards the line we go. Suso is going to win here in the evaluation race in the racing point here in Interlagos. Oscar crosses the line in second, but will lose out on a penalty to Andreas Dioco, your pole sitter. Adrep still fighting away. He's got a lapped Red Bull ahead of him. He's going to come up to the line to finish in 4th position. Joker's finished 10th, Black Phoenix in 11th, Varichello in 12th. Yellow flags down the field, but we'll follow the cars over the line as we go. There goes Drep in 4th position, but loses out to Lattice on a penalty. Oh, there goes a McLaren flying off the track there. That is going to be Jor, who could have been halfway towards Argentina. How far off the track he was there. Fabi crosses the line in 6th. Here comes the AlphaTauri, Kelvin in 7th. Not too bad a wee race from him. Up 3 places. Tubby Ninja up 4. Felipe Santos up 6 at the end there, so really nice for him. Kelvin finishes in 7th. And then the drag race between the Renault and the McLaren to finish Tubby Ninja taking 8th position. But that was the evaluation race. We'll just quickly run through for the given driver of the day to Felipe Santos, and as you can see I've picked up a wee trophy because it's the first time I've actually done spectator mode at all in this game, which is why I needed to do this tonight. So there we go. Now let's just watch the podium celebration. I'll have a wee chat quickly about that. Oh, he's got the camera up there with a selfie. Typical. Kids these days. Says the 32-year-old man who's commentating on it all. But that is the end of the evaluation race. Apologies again for the lack of audio. I'm possibly going to go and have a wee try, play out a few settings on my channel quickly. But Suso wins, Andreas Dioco in 2nd, Oscar Moreno in 3rd. These 3 class of the field by a long way today. Very nicely done. Lattice in 4th, Adrep in 5th, Fabi in 6th, Tubby Ninja in 7th from the alternative strategy from 12th. No penalties for him either, very nicely done. Kelvin in 8th, Lacabuta in 9th, Joker finished in 10th, Black Phoenix in 11th, Felipe Santos 12th, Luiso in 13th, Valachello in 14th, JGVI Pitt in 15th, Sean in 16th, North Scotsman, never even noticed that, Marek in 17th, North Scotsman and W. Jor in 18th, Drez in 19th position. He retired from the race. He did have the fastest lap, but he started in 4th, made 4 pit stops, and just dropped down the field like a son. Look at it. Valachello was 29 seconds of penalties. And he's quick. Then I want him in at 9.0. So he's within a second of the fastest lap. He's done similar fastest laps to what the leading bunch have done. Just missing a bit. And that's where obviously the evaluation races will show a little bit of difference through the field. But well done to everyone for taking part. We will be seeing these drivers through the season. Will we see any of them on one of the top 3 tiers on stream? We'll need to wait and see once tiers are announced. That will be in very near future indeed. Let's just bring the calendar back up before we finish off this evening. That is your Season 20 calendar for AOR Hype Energy F1 League. Starting off on September the 6th in Australia, Albert Park, the traditional season opener. And then move on to Bahrain, the Hanoi Street Circuit in Vietnam. That seems to be a track that's, I think the simplest word to put it is not very well liked by a lot of people. It's a very tricky track, it's very unique, I will give it that. But it remains to be seen how well that one goes as we go through the season. Then we go into China, Holland for the return of Netherlands Grand Prix at Zandvoort, Spain and Monaco. That rounds out your first 7 races. We'll then have a break before we do the next bunch, starting back at Azerbaijan. We'll finish up for Christmas after Belgium, and then we'll run through from January the 3rd, just after the New Year with Monza, all the way through to February the 21st to finish off the season in Abu Dhabi. That is going to be coming very soon indeed. thank you very much to everyone that joined us. Thank you to those who interacted in the chat. Let me know about the audio issues. I would have found them out afterwards by watching it back, but it's great to know on streams. It lets me now know I need to go and have a look at something, see if it's YouTube settings or see if it's settings at my end. So thank you guys to those that let me know. I hope you enjoyed the stream regardless. I hope I kept it as entertaining as possible. And yeah, we bring on the new season. Thank you very much to everyone for joining me. My name's been Andy Campbell. Hopefully see you soon. Hope you're all keeping safe and well. Till next time, see you soon. Ta-ra.